Hello and welcome. I'm Patty Penn and this is my floss tube, Stitching with My Kitties. This is number 38. Today is Monday, 22 September 2025. I was supposed to film yesterday, but I got busy decorating for fall and that took me several hours. And by the end of doing that, I was pretty tired and decided I would just film when I got home from work today. So I'm so glad you could join me. I don't know if we'll see any kitties today. I was on a FaceTime with Dottie stitching Scotty and Niecy Lynn last night. And Duke and Dallas were on the table. And Daisy Mae jumped up on the buffet behind me and knocked stuff off. And if you've been with me since beginning, Daisy Mae does that regularly. She gets into a lot of trouble. So I'm so glad you could join me today. And again, I'm sorry I didn't get to film yesterday. It was just, things just kind of overcame me. My next floss tube will be on Sunday, 5 October. That's 2 weeks from yesterday. I'm actually going up to Needlecraft Corner. Drema's got some goodies for me from Marketplace. And so I'll go to the Saturday stitch on the 4th, and then I'll have some things to show you on the 5th. I had a great cruise to Alaska with Jean Farish and Karen and Bren Kirck from Fox and Rabbit. There was Tony, and I don't remember Tony's last name. She was the other instructor, and she did a canvas piece that I saw while the students were making it, and it was amazing. So maybe next time, I don't know. Because I have done canvas work in the past. It's always been counted canvas. And my sweet friend Christy, this Salty Stitcher Designs, she has started doing some needlepoint or canvas work. And I'm sorry, the camera just moved. Daisy Mae just got up on the table. Here she comes. You're gonna see her tail, I think. You can go ahead. Yep, that was Daisy Mae. Keep going. Oh, I am so sorry. She just can't seem to not move the camera. And Duke's on the other end of the table. So anyway, I had 2 classes with Jean. One was a Biscornu finishing class. And no, I only had that one class with Jean. It was the Biscornu finishing class. She had 2 classes, one on Tuesday morning and one on Friday morning. I didn't pay attention, and I thought my Biscornu finishing class was on Friday morning. I was wrong. That was the pull thread class. The Biscornu class had been on Tuesday, and I missed it. However, I have done what I consider a mattress finish for the block party that Kathy Haberman, Hands-On Designs. I have done a couple of those, so it's something similar. But Jean was putting beads. It looked like every other stitch, so I was really looking forward to that. But she promised me that she would put up a floss tube to show me how to finish it. So, and I'm sure she will. And Wednesday, we sailed by Hubbard Glacier. And so that afternoon, we had a cocktail party for all of the instructors and their traveling companions, as well as Jean's daughters, Catherine and Elizabeth, because they did all of the administrative stuff. And that was great fun, just to really get to know everybody, relax and have fun. And everybody really seemed to enjoy it. So I took a class from Karen. I didn't miss that class. And I took a class from Bren, and I didn't miss that one either. And y'all saw this. The one that Karen did was the Polar Friends needle book. So here is my finished needle book. And we did finish it in class. Is he adorable? And this was so much fun. It took, I think the class was 4 hours, and I was able to do it. So we had all the finishing stuff, and so here's the inside. So we learned how to, and I forgot to clip that little string there. I've got to go back and clip it. So we learned how to pull the, I don't know what you would call it, not the selvage on the lady dot trim, but the attachment part. You can actually take that off, and it just leaves the little fringe dots, not fringe, but the little dots. So we learned how to do that, and then I got my rickrack a little too close. I should have pulled it out a little bit, but that's okay. This was learning. So now this cute little bulb pin with 2025 and the State of Alaska charm, along with the needle, was a gift from one of the other attendees. And I just thought that was so cute. So I had to put it in here because why not? So this was really fun, and I'm going to make more of these. They, I'm sure once you get the hang of it, and if you want to do several for table gifts or something, assembly line, assemble them, and it should go, you know, be able to do, if you've got the stitching done, maybe be able to do 6 or more in an afternoon or a weekend day. So that was fun. And then Bren's class was how to design a sampler, but it was much more than that. Bren has this wonderful book that he gave us, and I'm not going to show you the inside, but there's a lot of information on the different types of samplers. For example, let me open this up. You know, we talked about what is a sampler, what are the types of samplers, and how to spot samplers. So everyone's familiar with the band sampler with, you know, the different bands going across. They're typically narrow and longer. I would consider maybe even a bell pull type. Then there's marking samplers. And I believe these were very popular in Britain. I could be wrong though. Then there was the stitch or darning sampler, where the young ladies learned how to darn socks or shirts, because remember, we didn't have automatic fabric making machines. So you had to make your clothes last. Then we learned whether it was a top heavy sampler or a bottom heavy sampler. And if it was, why the bottom heavy samplers tend to be more. Daisy May, stop licking. You're shaking the camera. Are more pleasing to the eye. And then there is also mirror samplers. They're the same on the right and the left. They're just mirror images. And that's just some of them. Then we had a complete, not a complete set, but we had a number of pages of Quaker designs. And that was quite fun for me because, you know, I love Quakers. That was just, it was much more than I even imagined, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's see. What else? Oh, and I did get a couple other table gifts. I got this from Alice Tappan, and it's a little needle case, and she put 2 needles, whoops. She put 2 needles and a needle threader. And so that was cute because it had the colors of the main colors of the sampler that was designed by Jean for this cruise. So that was nice. And then the needle and bulb pin with the 2025 and Alaska charm was put together. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who gave me this, but it was put together in this little matchbook style gift, and I thought that was cute. And then, oh, I should have taken this out. We could choose our color. And this is, it's called Chatelaines and Tools, and it's Alicia Abbott. She has an Etsy shop. So this is the one that I chose. Let's see if you can, let me hold it up here. And it has, it is a, there you go. It's a frogging tool, and I believe it may have a magnet in it, and you can attach it. So let me hold up her card so that you can see it. Oh, okay. It's artisanal.pleasures@yahoo.com, and her Etsy shop is Chatelaines and Tools at Etsy. So you might want to take a screenshot of that. I'll hold it up for just a minute. She was so nice, and I mean, her things were just gorgeous. So thank you, everyone. And then we all had name tags, even the non-stitchers. And Damon had one. Jean made these for each of the attendees and their traveling companion. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Let's see, I think, oh, and there was a glass blowing area on the ship. So, I've done that before. You know, I think I've shown you my vase that I've done. I've done a starfish. I've done, I did 2 jellyfish. That's at work, and I gave my assistant the other jellyfish. But, so this time, I did a sea turtle. Let me, I guess we can put them up like that. And it's pink and gray. But sadly, I like the back better, or the underneath side better, because it's swirled much better than the top side. But that's okay. It was so much fun. And so you know, we made the shell, and then we had to pull his tail and then attach glass for his flippers and his front and back flippers and the head. So this was, I had never done one that was quite so many additional pieces. And then, excuse me, but I did a whale. And pink and gray again. And here is my whale. And I love her. I think she is fabulous. So this was a lot of fun. Now, I did my turtle on Saturday afternoon, probably about 4:30. So when you do glass blowing, it has to go into, it's not a kiln, but I don't know another word for it, where they gradually lower the temperature so that it doesn't shatter. So I could pick it up at 6:30 on Sunday morning before we disembarked from the ship. So I went up there. It was probably 7:30ish. I went up there, and my turtle wasn't there. There was like 3 or 4 bags with the name and the room number. So I went back down, and I said, Damon, you know, it's not there. And so we went to the retreat, Michael's Club, for the suite guests for breakfast and to get ready to leave the ship. And so I told the concierge that my turtle was missing. And so he went up and he couldn't find it. Well, before he came down, a woman came up. She had taken, her name was Patricia, and they had Patricia on my bag. She was on, her room number started with 16, like ours. She had, the last 2 numbers were different. She just picked up my turtle by mistake. And it was just a fluke that I was even able to get it back before we disembarked. So that was interesting. So, and before we left, I'm sure a lot of y'all watched the Sable Stitchers, Roberta and Lenny. Sable is the acronym Stitch Accumulation Beyond Life Expectancy. And so Lenny has been in treatment for breast cancer. So I made her a project bag with the pink ribbon, and I sent Roberta one with butterflies and just pretty. And so I got a sweet card back from Roberta, and so thank you very much, Roberta. That was very kind of you to send me a card back. I will link their floss too below, as well as Christie's, of course, Salty Stitcher Design. And that's really what I have been doing for the last 2 weeks, because we were gone almost 2 weeks. We stayed, we went up to Vancouver, British Columbia, 3 or 4 days before we got on the ship. Walked around some areas that we hadn't been to before in Vancouver. Then we got on the ship for a week, came back, and we stayed overnight again in Vancouver so that we could get our flight back to DCA, back to DC. The flight left at 10:30, so we were afraid we couldn't get off the ship and to the airport in Vancouver, and it was an international flight, and clear customs in time to get a 10:30 flight out of Seattle. So we went to the aquarium that Sunday. We dropped our bags at the hotel and went to the aquarium. It was raining, and we saw the stellar sea lions. They were talking about how they train them and for medical procedures, how to brush their teeth. Now, the humans brush the sea lions' teeth, of course. It's not the sea lions doing it, but how they weigh them. And so that was interesting. And then we saw the seals, the seal show, and the otter show. And the otters were so cute. We had seen the otters at the Vancouver Aquarium before, but we were actually down, we were in a cover. We went down some stairs and there was cover over so we could get out of the rain. And they would swim right by us in their pool. And I mean, just right up against the glass, and they were so adorable. So, and then they gave them their salmon, and it was so cute to see them. They would throw it on their stomachs, and they would just pull part off and then eat some more, and they were adorable. So we enjoyed that all afternoon, and they had several tanks with different jellyfish, which is what I remembered from the Vancouver Aquarium when we were there before. Just a wonderful time, and but we're back. So I thought I would show you my September book of days. I think I probably showed, this is August, and I was working mostly on Jesse Challenor. I think, yeah, I worked on the front of the Biscornu. I started that on the I finished it on the 1st of August. And then I had to frog a little bit. And then here's September, and you've seen part of this before. And, here's my Chiefs. Yes, we're 0-2 for the year. No, excuse me. We're 1-2 for the year. I forgot. We won last night against the Giants. So I've enjoyed my book of days, and I've kept up with it. I had tried one, I guess it was 23 or 24, and I just got a calendar off Amazon, and I didn't do anything with it. But this I have really enjoyed doing. So I was watching Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching. I'll link them below too, but I'm sure all of y'all know them. And they said that My Crazy Life with Lori, sent them one of her books for 2026. And I knew about this before. So I decided to order one. I ordered it from her Etsy shop. Let me hold this up. And it came very quickly. So I need to start following her on Instagram. And I just noticed she has a floss tube also. And so I think I'm going to enjoy this. You know, we've got just your standard monthly calendars. And then before the February, you've got where you can make notes and sales, challenges, finishes for the month. If you need to do some initials or something, there's gridded paper. And then she also has, this is fabulous. I'm looking forward to getting to start using this. So I'm sure I will get one for 27. There's some blank pages. I know some people do Whip Go or various takes of Whip Go. Now I don't do that, but you know, you could use this for just about anything. So you've got, let's see, 2 pages of that. Then you've got whip starts and all that where you can make, you know, just keep track of what you are doing for the year. You've got several pages of that. You've got some lined notebook paper. And one of the things that I really like is some retreat pages. And she also includes a packing, what you need to take with you. Because now I'm a list maker. If I don't write it down, it's not going to get done. So I love this. And since I go to a couple, 3 retreats a year, I have my stitchy box that Niecy Lynn introduced me to 2 years ago at StitchCon. That stays in my travel bag because I have it packed with everything I need. So that stays with me. And then my table mat stays in that bag also. But you can list your projects that you want to take, anything extra that would go with them. Then you've got Stitchy Kindness. And then there is a few charts, one by Whilst Iris Naps, and I think there's 2 more in here. I think one is from Mama Loves You GB. I don't happen to see them, but I wouldn't show you because it's got the chart on the same page. So just a very nice book. So I really do look forward to using that. Now, if you remember, I had lunch with Christy, Happiness is Heartmade designer. We met at Panera in Gainesville, Virginia, and just had a fabulous time. Excuse me, we are going to get together for lunch again before the end of the year. So, and she wants to meet me in Baltimore at Needlecraft Corner. She's never been to Drema's, so that will be fun. And so she brought me a few little gifts, and that wasn't expected. Now she brought me salted caramels. That we don't have those anymore. But look at the cat mug. You know, she does the cattails collection. She's got the monthly cattails and a cat and a cardinal, which that will be a share this month because we're going to start a sale via Instagram on 1 December. Niecy Lynn and I are doing it. And of course, she had to give me a pen with her design or her company name. And then look at this. A black kitty cat head. Let me take it out of the package. It is so cute. Isn't that adorable? And then she gave me a pen. And those of you who know me, I love my pens. I've got several pen cushions. One is all Christmas, one is Americana, one is just a mishmash. So I think I might try to find a pillow pattern, a pillow chart, do it in pink, and then put this on the front of that pillow and keep it in my bowl that stays out year round. Because it is, and this is from, let me show you. Sorry for the crinkle. There's the name of the person who designed it. And then here is the pen. And it's gorgeous. And I apologize for the light. It's what, 5:30 here, 5:30. So the light has shifted. I typically film about anywhere between 2 and 3:30, 4 o'clock on Sundays. So Christy, thank you so much. And I can't wait to show y'all what pillow I make and put this on. And I just had a thought. I could design a little Quaker motif pillow, pen keep, for my pen. Wouldn't that be cool? Y'all know I've been dabbling in resin, UV resin. And, you know, I've gone down that rabbit hole. Don't know how I got down that rabbit hole, but I did. So I did a few Christmas ornaments. Did that one and this one. This one has different glitter than the first one. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. This is just a clear one. Yeah, that doesn't show up very well. And then I got these molds. And so now I really have to work on these because they've got some bubbles in them. But I'm having a lot of fun with these, and I'll show you a couple more. Here's my snowman. And this one I really need to work on. This would be what I would consider a fail because it's got a flaw right there. But I've been watching YouTubes rather, not floss tubes, YouTubes on how to correct that. Here's a stocking and another stocking. And then I took an online class, or it was broadcast via YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and maybe Instagram, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it live, but they put it up on YouTube. And it's a shaker class. And this one is considered a dry shaker. This is the first one I did. And so that was fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. And I have a ghost and I have a coffin. So I don't do Halloween. And what you can do with these, you can attach one of the cell phone holders, and you can do it with heavy duty Velcro so you can switch them out. You can attach a key fob, you know, one of those that has the spring that you just pull down. So you can do a lot with these. I'm just gonna make the other two and send them to catch. I think I'll ask Niecy Lynn to make sure it's okay, but I think he would probably get a kick out of these. Now the ghost one, I'm gonna make it like a snow globe. We have something, they sent something called Easy Flow. And I don't know if it's kind of like glycerin or not, but so the next one, this was the first one because this is the easiest because you don't have to put the fluid in there. And you do have to drill to get the fluid into and then put resin back up over the hole. So that was fun. And I am doing 2 sows. I am doing Freak for the Beak. I'm doing that with Christy, Salty Stitcher Designs, and Niecy Lynn. And let me show you Freak for the Beak. This is an 12-month sow. I divided the chart up into 11 parts, and then you have an extra month in case you get behind. And Niecy sent me fabric and all of the call for DMCs for the pattern. Well, I got ready to start stitching, and I measured it, and I didn't have enough fabric. So, and she had hand dyed it for us and everything. She and I both had the same fabric, same color and everything. So I unfortunately, so I had to choose another fabric. But look at these colors, they're fabulous. So I did start it. I haven't finished my September portion yet, but this is stitched on Fiberlicious 40 count for doll. It is a Zweigart based, and it's called Magnolia Magic. The design is Freak for the Beak, and that's by Boomerang Stitches. And I got a PDF chart. I don't remember if I got it from Boomerang Stitches. I think that's probably what I did, or if I did purchase it somewhere else. But it is a PDF chart for me, and I am loving the PDF charts. It helps me quite a bit so that I don't make as many counting mistakes. Now I still make the counting mistakes, but not as bad. Okay, then I changed my mind, sorry. Then we're on the 15th, stitching Scotty, Crisp. Niecy Lynn and I started the hashtag 1776 Liberty Eagle by Screen Door Designs, I think. I'll put a link to her website. You can get it at your LNS. I first saw it on the Floss tube from the attic, and they did the silk conversion. And I love this pattern so much that I wanted to do it in the silks. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm working on this monogamously until I finish it, because I've got to get back to only one work in progress. This is too much for my little brain. So it's, I love it. And I'm about 65% complete. So I may have this finished by the end of next weekend. We'll see. I'm not pushing myself or anything, but I'm really enjoying it. And the fabric, I forgot to mention, I've already taken off the board, sorry. This is 36 count even weave by Fabric Flare. And it's the Declaration of Independence. So what I'm hoping is that the framer can move the top of the frame and start it right above this. And then, I don't want that much all the way around, but at the top. So I'll see what the framer has to say. I take my stuff to Total Framing here in, they have 2 locations here in Northern Virginia. I use the Fairfax one because that's easier, closer for me. And then, you haven't seen this in a while, I don't believe. This is my Cloister Garden Mystery Sow, put on by Fox and Rabbit. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Verdal, that is by Zweigart. And my Floss is Forget Me Not by Cottage Garden Threads, another Australia company. And I'm way behind, but that's okay. It will end December the 31st Australia time, they will take it down. You can still get the pattern, but it will no longer be free. You would have to buy the pattern. So I've downloaded this into my Galaxy pad, and it's going very well. I wasn't originally using the Galaxy for it. Let's see what else. Don't forget, on 1 December, we're going to start a new SAL, a cat and a cardinal Christmas. So this will be one of our shares. And Marcy of Amnicon Amnicon Studio, I'll link her below. She is a fantastic knitter. She is so talented. She won the a cat and cardinal Christmas share that we had a number of months ago. Excuse me. So I told her if she wanted to save it, that we could do a stitch along together starting the 3rd of February for my birthday. And she said she thought that would be a lot of fun. So thank you, Marcy. And I hope the rest of you will consider joining us. Christy said that anyone who joins us and completes the project by the end of September, we started on the 3rd, completes it by February the 28th, she's going to give 2 lucky people a PDF chart of your choice of her of Happiness is Heartmade. So please join us. I think it'll be fun. And Niecy Lynn and I are doing the SAL on Instagram, and I'm going to see if Marcy wants to add her name to it. It's Stacy May. I'm not sure. So let's see. Now, my sweet friend Ann is in the hospital. She's going to be in the hospital evidently several more days. Niecy called me yesterday morning early. I spoke with Ann yesterday afternoon. She seemed in really good spirits. When she leaves the hospital, she will have to go into rehab, but she said there's a number of good places very close to where they live. So she's not concerned about that aspect of it. So please send her big virtual hugs and thoughts. I'm sure she would appreciate it. And Miss Judy, I know I need to send you an email. I got a lot to catch up with you on. So I'm sorry, Judy. I'll try to get something out to you by the end of the week. Now, I have 2 FFOs. One is a start, a finish, and an FFO, and the other is just an FFO that I had been working on at work. Let me grab them. This is what I had been doing at lunch when I had a few minutes just to take my mind off of everything that's going on at the office. This is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. They have this made, it's in their newest stitching book. I can't remember the name of the book. But this is on the back cover. I think they have this as a pillow maybe. And then they stitched it on the project bag. And I think it is so cute. Now what I haven't done, I have some sewing Notions buttons. And these are they're not Jabco. These are just, cheap plastic buttons that you would get at Joann's or Michael's, in the little package for $1. I have not taken the time to go and get those out because I might put a couple of those on here. But I love this. It was so much fun. And then on the end, what I'm keeping for my accessory bag is my sew bag. So now I had already had this one made before I started this. But I'm really enjoying this. And then I've got my Lady Dots Creates. Lois is just the sweetest person. So that's my Lady Dots Zip It. And I noticed that Christina, Siggy's Closet, Has some new scissor fobs, floss drops, all that. I'm in trouble. I've resisted thus far. And then also from Happiness is Heartmade, I have Liberty House. This was a start, a finish, and I FFO'd it yesterday. Now, I was so discombobulated. I was like, because Niecy Lynn and I were either, I don't know if we were FaceTiming or just talking on the phone. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a pillow insert. I've got to this is going to take me 10 times longer than it should. I forgot about the Lori Holt way of doing it, where you put right sides together, sew it all around, cut a hole in the back, stuff it, and then put some wool felt. That's what I figured out, finally. So, and I just added a little bulb pin with a few little buttons and a 20-25 charm. But I love this. I think it is so pretty. Now, I did accidentally mix up some, these are all the call for colors, but they're not necessarily where they should be, especially the Liberty. I think Liberty was blue, but I'm not positive. But anyway, this will go into, I have a bowl that I just keep my favorite pillows, my favorite pin keeps in. This will definitely go in there. Then, I have quite a bit. I got 2 new patterns by is it Patterns by, no, it's just by Annie. By Annie. This is Hold Everything. The thing I like about it is they've got these little individual, they're not little, they're pretty decent size, project bags that fit in here with Velcro. And I was thinking that would make a great retreat bag. So I got that. Don't know when I'll start it, but I got that. And then Stash and Dash. And you could use this for a lot of things. So I'm gonna add those to my by Annie. I got my last set of stitch cards by Be In My Bonnet, Lori Holt, put out by It's So Emma. So this was the very last one. There's the 4 that you get. Very cute. I think it's Annie B's, I think, has a new monthly chart club. And I love Lori Pengelly's of Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. This is her Barn series. And I love it. So I joined that. Then my market haul, I ordered part from Drema up in Baltimore at Needlecraft Corner, and part from Abby, Top Knot Stitcher. Top Knot Stitcher. I will link her below. So I got 2, I think these are new colors for Classic Colorworks, Storm Lake Sunrise. I'm sorry I didn't take them out of the plastic. Then Tiny Town Celeste came out with a new Quilt Town. This is the frill, and I'm sure you've seen it. This is the Tiny Town, and I think I'm gonna make it into a drum. So I wanna start it, but I'm gonna have to wait. I don't have to tell you why I got this one. Record Halls. And I might turn him into a black cat, because you know Duke's our problem child. He's our tuxedo. He's our problem child. Then a new Quaker, Welcome Fall from Wildflower Stitching. And I'm sorry that I didn't take these out of the plastic. And I might change up the colors. And depending on the tariff situation, I will probably, if we can get stuff into the US without having to pay a tariff, I may have Roxy Floss Co. convert this to a pink and gray, or a pink, burgundy, and gray. I think that would just be pretty. Now I know it says welcome fall, and fall's not pink and gray. And then Little Robin Designs, and that's Mary Overton, 1850. Now this, I have never seen a sampler like this. So, and the colors are beautiful. And then I think this was a class at the Christmas ball last year, 2024, by Hello with from Liz Matthews. So I didn't think I wanted to do it last year, but after I've seen it on Instagram and a few floss tubes, I decided that would be fun. So I got that. And then Niecy Lynn and I both wanted both of these next patterns. The Festive Mini Trees. Adorable. And then Liz and her mother, Kathy Barrick, did a collaboration, and it's Holly Wreath. And so, you know, Niecy and I both love cardinals, so we're both going to stitch this too. So that was all from Abby, Top Knot Stitcher. And I'm hoping I'll see her in October at the Fall Stitch West. And then she included a little skein of floss for me. I thought that was so sweet. And you know, from Pine Needles, they have the monthly Sweet Stitching Club. So this is October. Now, I don't know that I will do this one. I may use this as a share, or Niecy Lynn will probably want to stitch it. So that's just something that, because I don't do October. I don't mind it, it's just something I don't do. And then Just Another Button Company. Now, I don't want to get into wool applique or any new hobby to go down another rabbit hole. But I could not resist this one. Happy Hive Pincushion. It has everything, the flowers, the pins, the wool. So I'm anxious to do this. I don't think it'll take very long. So I did have to get that. Then I got some linen. I had to put in an order for some floss. Actually, it was for some Weeks Dye Works and DMC Pearl 5 cotton for the flag bag that I'm working on. So, you know, floss just can't get mailed by itself. So I got a fat quarter of Dolomite. This is 46 count Bristol linen by Fiber on a Whim. And this just came today. So, that's actually pretty good. I think it's beautiful. I have no idea what I'll stitch on it. But I love it. I love it. I wonder if one of my new, where did it go? This is on blue, but I wonder what it would look like on this. Let's see what it calls for. It calls for Classic Color Works and Weeks Dye Works. So that might be a very interesting possibility. And then Brandy from Be Stitch Me, she had some ready to ship, and she sent an email. And it came, the packing slip was in front, but I got these two, and this is 40 count Spellbound, a beautiful lavender, lots of beautiful modeling. It's pretty true to life. A little bit of greenish in there. And Witching Hour, which is again a 40 count. And this is a purple and kind of a medium blue, light blue. Well, when I was getting ready, making my notes yesterday, thinking that I was going to film yesterday, I took the packing slip out. Brandy, thank you. She sent 5 skeins of her hand-dyed silks. And they're gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And so thank you so much, Brandy. It's beautiful. And I will link all of the companies in the show notes also. I got my Mystic Fabrics Fabrics of the Month. You know, I do the neutral and the colorful. I forget what the proper term is. So for September, it was parchment, and I get 46 count. Now, I'm thinking that for the non-neutral, the colored fabrics, I might switch it to 40 count, but then I got 46 count. This is Wolfbane. Let me open that up. And since lavender is my second favorite color, all these purples are just right up my alley. When I ordered my 1776 Liberty Eagle, when I ordered the silks from the attic, I had them also send me the linen that they used. And it is 40 count Cedar River pyrite, because I had forgotten that I wanted to do it on the fabric flare. It's called Declaration on Parchment. So this is gorgeous. I know a lot of people use Cedar River pyrite, so it definitely has a place in my stash to be used. But it is a special cut size, so I'll have to be pretty careful with what I put on it, because it doesn't give me the it does not give me the dimensions, but it does say a special cut. Then for our sampler class that Bren did, we also got a half yard of I think this is 36 count. It is 36 count fat quarter, and this is Alaskan gold. I gotta show you this. It's beautiful. Just a wonderful, wonderful neutral. And I think this was dyed specifically for our class. I'm not 100% positive. And then they gave us a sticker for our book, of course, and then floss drops. So thank you very much for that extra little goodie in our class, our sampler class. And then Bren also had some fat quarters that he brought just to sell if anyone wanted. And since I'm trying to build my linen stash, since I, just March, I guess, started stitching on linen when I did Jessie Challenor. Well, I take that back. Nisi Lynn, I don't know if you can see. Let me move the camera. Whoops, sorry. I hope I didn't make anybody sick. The rounded that says give thanks. Nisi Lynn dyed the fabric for me, sent the fabric, the frame, the chart, and the flosses for that. And that was I think it was 28 count linen. So that's technically my first one, but not anything, higher count. So I did get 36 count pumice, a very nice neutral gray with some nice muted modeling, 36 count baked clay. Again, Bren's modeling is just fabulous. Then I got 2 cuts of Inca because the modeling is so different. You've got this one, and then you've got this one that's more pink than yellow. And then I got 40 count, and the Inca was both 40 count, and then the baked clay is 40 count. Again, how Bren does this modeling it just is amazing. And then I think I showed you guys this. This was the Polar Blue 32 count that we did the Karen's needle book on. So, and I still have some left over. And I asked Bren if, you know, that was in their regular line. And he said, no, it had been done specifically for the cruise, for the class, but to keep watching that, you know, it probably would come in. Then, just a couple more things. You know, through Crazy Annie's, I said Annie B's, but it's Crazy Annie that I did the Lori Pingali monthly barn pattern. You know, I do the Flamingo Toes needle minder of the month, and along with that, we always get a chart. Now, I can't really show you anything, but this is really, it's an apple and has these, I think that's Ohio Star, I think, quilt blocks. And then this is our needle minder this month, because I'm a quilter too. I haven't quilted in a while, but I still have several quilts that need to be finished. And these are the colors. So you get all of that every month. It's a 12-month club. And then lastly, I was online, and I really like Little Robin Designs. Blue Ribbon Designs. And she had some felted acorns. So I will use this and finish my fall decorating, but I didn't want to put anything out until I had shown you. So I got 3 different colorways, and they're also beautiful. These are real acorn caps with felted nuts. And then here's the last one, and I'm sorry for the glare. So, lots going on there. Well, I think the last thing we have, and I apologize, I did forget to pull the winner for the August Heart Square, and a new winner for the You Belong to Meow, because I haven't heard from Sharon Williams. I have a couple other shares besides a cat and a cardinal. That's just to remind you. This will be our first giveaway. And let's use the word cardinal. Cardinal, like the bird. Then, you know, I showed you that I've been doing some new resin things. I thought I would share. This is a Halloween set. It's a floss drop, and then you can use this as a zipper pull or as a scissor fob. So this will be one. Use the word Halloween. Then I've got interesting colors for Christmas. Again, another floss drop and zipper pull or scissor fob. Use the word purple because there are purple sprinkles in there. So I thought that was interesting for Christmas. Then this is more my style. This is glitter, again, floss drop, floss ring and scissor pull or key fob. It's got some candy canes in there and lots of stars. See that one up close? Let's use traditional. Traditional for the red and green. Let me write that down. And what did we say for the Halloween one? Halloween? I hope that's what I said. I need to write it down. And then lastly, I had to do some snowy penguins, and they're shaped like dog biscuits. So I use this as a zipper pull with the chain. And then typically we'll use the ones with the swivel hook. What is that called? Anyway, I'll use this on my scissors. I don't like the beaded on my scissors. I prefer the lobster claw. And let's use the word penguin. So that's all I have for you today. Oh my gosh, it's been an hour. I've been talking an hour. I hope everyone has a fantastic 2 weeks. Remember, I will be back on Sunday, 5 October. And if you have anything that you need to reach me, I'm PattyPen4, the number 4, PattyPen4 on Instagram. You can always email me. I'll put that in the body or in the show notes. And I hope you guys have a wonderful 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.